Hey guys, and welcome to Ozzie Reviews. Well, this is my next installment in the Beginner Basics series. Now it's about understanding and selecting the correct centerfire ammunition. Now the first thing you've got to ask yourself, guys, is what is your purpose? Are you hunting or are you shooting in matches or competition? Now if you're hunting, what is your game? You really have to ask yourself, what is it that you're actually going after? Are you going after pigs, or are you going after goats? Or wild dogs, or whatever it is that you're going after. You need to be honest with yourself and just decide what it is that you're going to go hunting for. Now there's two types of basic hunting rounds. So you've got projectiles that are rapid expansion. Now these rapid expansion projectiles will give you minimal penetration, okay? Once they hit an animal, they will expand quite rapidly. Then you've got the controlled expansion projectiles. So with the controlled expansion projectiles, really you're going to get quite deep penetration. Okay, now this is ideal obviously if you're going after heavier or larger game, where the projectile needs to penetrate deep down into the vital organs to make a clean and humane kill. So examples of like the rapid expansion projectiles would be a lot of hollow points and VMAX type projectiles. And then with the controlled expansion, like your Sierra Game Kings and also your trophy copper rounds as well. So, there are a lot of different hunting rounds out there, guys. So this is just the basics so that you have the basic understanding of the different types of rounds. Now, for example, if you're hunting wild dogs, what bullet would you select? Okay. Now, what you'd need is something that's, rapid expanding. So a rapid expansion projectile, because wild dogs are very light skinned, and also you want minimal over penetration. So in other words, you don't want to be using like a full metal jacket where you would shoot the dog and it would simply go straight through the dog and keep going, because remember, you've got to be safe when you're out there. So you want something that's going to do the job and do it very swiftly. So a rapid expanding projectile for light skinned games such as wild dogs would be ideal. So I've got two here that are very popular here in Australia and very, very effective. Now the caliber I've chosen here that I'll run through the different ammo with is 308. Now 308 is a very heavy caliber in general, so some of the like rapid expanding rounds, in 308 you can take pigs with, for example, where if you were using the same rapid expanding round in a 223, well, it wouldn't be your choice on pigs, okay? But this is just to give you a basic understanding of what to select. So we've got Buffalo River here. Now, this is the 135 grain hollow points. These are Sierra hollow points. Very, very good bullet makers, Sierra. They've been around for many, many years. Okay, so as you can see there, it is a hollow point, okay? So what happens is once this hits, that pushes back and opens up and just expands very rapidly. Now Federal Premium have basically a competitor's round to the OSA round, also extremely good. These are 130 grains, so they're 5 grains lighter, but they're loaded with spear hollow points. So as you can see, really quite similar, okay? The hollow point there, it just expands very, very rapidly and creates a large wound cavity. So these sort of rounds here would be ideal, as I say, on light skin game, okay? You wouldn't really use them on really heavy game. I mean, look, yes, you can take pigs and so forth, with these. There's no problem at all in doing that. However, what I'm saying is you wouldn't be using this like on buffalo or really large moose or large deer, where you really need something that's going to penetrate deep with controlled expansion. So what if, for example, you're hunting large, heavy deer? What bullet would you select? Well, you want something that's controlled expansion, so it can go deep into the major organs, okay? You want that deep penetration because it is going to give you a clean and humane kill. So these are a couple of rounds that are absolutely perfect for that job. These are the Outback Ammo 165 grain Sierra Game Kings. These things honestly will pretty much kill any game you want to chase here in Australia. Okay, so it's got a soft point, okay, lead soft point there. It's a very controlled expanding round. I've used these for many years, so it does open up, it does expand, but it just doesn't, basically explode like a lot of the hollow points, within a couple of inches of going into the game. This is the sort of thing that you'll punch very, very deep into the game, well over, 10, 15 inches into the game, and it will expand very controlled and create a large wound cavity. Now the other one I've got to show you here is just an absolute brilliant round. Now this is the 150 grain trophy copper from Federal Premium. Now to give you an idea, they've got an illustration here on the back, and this is exactly what the bullet looks like after impact. So as you can see, it really has a controlled expansion on it. The whole thing just doesn't, explode or go into several different pieces. It holds together. It pretty much holds almost 99% of its weight. So the force behind it, it will drive it very, very deep into what you're shooting at. So, if you are shooting at, large like moose, very heavy deer, that sort of thing, this sort of round is perfect. It's going to penetrate very, very deep and make that clean and humane kill. So I'll bring it up a little bit closer so you can see here. It's basically got very similar looking, isn't it, to like a VMAX, but completely different in the way that it expands and operates. So you do have a polymer tip, but you've got that copper projectile, and it is just a solid mix there that's going to hold together. Okay, now last of all, what if you're shooting at the range, your intention is to just shoot at paper and you want to shoot in matches or competitions? What bullet would you select? Well, obviously you want a match projectile. Okay, they are basically very hard and non-expanding. Okay, they have a very high BC or ballistic coefficient to retain velocity and buffer the wind at that long range. So when you actually look at these rounds, you can have a look at them online and have a look at what their BC is. Okay, the higher the BC, the better ability that this actual projectile has at buffering the wind and retaining maximum velocity at those long ranges. Now these rounds obviously aren't suitable for hunting, because usually they will just punch straight through what you're shooting at, and obviously very minimal expansion, so it's not ideal for hunting whatsoever. Do not use match ammunition to hunt with, guys. So as you can see there, it's just a very sleek, hard projectile, isn't it? Most of these you'll find that they are boat tails, because they do have a very high ballistic coefficient, and that's what people are really searching for when shooting matches or competitions. So that there is the Australian Outback loaded with the 168 grain Sierra hollow point boat tail Match King. When it's a hollow point, it's not like the other hollow points, is it, guys? It's just a very, very small hollow point on it. This here is from Federal Premium. Now this is loaded also with the 168 grain Sierra Match. So virtually identical, but just from Federal Premium. My advice is, if you're going to shoot factory match ammo, guys, just try different ones, because each different brand will perform a little bit different in your rifle, because even though it's identical projectile, there's still that company's powders and powder loads, so there is a slight variance. So this sort of ammo here, guys, as I say, just to wrap up with it, ideal for shooting paper. Not ideal for hunting whatsoever. Yes, it will kill certain types of game, but it's not designed to expand. Therefore, when it punches straight through, it will probably be a slow death, and that's not the game that we're into. We're into making sure that animals suffer very minimally, and it's a clean and efficient kill. So it doesn't matter whether it's a 223, or a 308, guys. You need to choose the correct bullet for the job. So I hope that's given you a little bit of an understanding about the different types of ammunition that are out there. Just basically have a look online, and you can read up on a whole heap of information on different bullets and brands that you actually have a look at. Anyhow, guys, let's get out on the farm now. I've got a practical test that I really hope works, and it will explain this theory in practice. Alright, guys, so the three different types of ammo that I'm going to run through the Lithgow is 135 grain Sierra hollow points from OSA, Then the Outback ammo loaded with the 165 grain Sierra Game King. And then finally the Outback ammo with the 168 grain Sierra Match King. Now the reason why I'm using this ammo is just simply because my Lithgow is sighted in for it, okay, and I've really only got one shot at doing this. Now I've got a tree trunk down there at 50 yards away, and I've put a couple of marks on it, so there's 3 marks down the actual trunk, so it's an even sort of circumference of the tree trunk. So what I want to demonstrate with this hopefully is the different expansion of the different types of projectiles or bullets. So let's see how we go. Okay, take a look at this. So we'll start at the top. Now the 135 grain hollow points, as you can see here, there's rapid expansion. You know, it's just hit, as soon as it's hit something solid, that hollow point is just opened and expanded. And you can see around the back there, it's gone all the way through, just sheer devastation. Then when we come down to the 165 grain Game Kings, now also very good. As soon as it hits, it's going to start expanding, but it's a controlled expansion. So you can see there it's gone straight through. So this is ideal for heavy, thick skin game, where the hollow points there are more suited to lighter skin game. Although with a 308, look, you could take pigs with these no problem at all. But if you started moving up into, you know, like really big deer, very large pigs, or even if you're going after buffalo, this is what I'd be using here. Now coming down, finally the 168 grain Match King. As you can see there's not a lot of expansion, is there? And that's what I wanted to demonstrate here. You can see where it's gone in and it's just punched straight through. Very little expansion because that bullet would hold together quite well because it's not designed for hunting. Okay guys, so we'll wrap up the review there. Hopefully it's just given you a demonstration as best as I possibly could on how different projectiles react. So you really need to choose the correct projectile and the correct bullet weight for the job. Okay guys, hope you enjoyed the review. So till next time, we'll catch you then.